Today I'm sewing with my favorite color combination to make a vibrant and modern quilt. It's all strips, quick, easy, and so much fun. By the time I'm done, you will see why I love it so much. Let's see what I can find in my cabinet. I need 8 colors for this quilt, and my shelves are starting to look a little empty. It's time for another fabric shopping trip soon. For each block, we will need 8 strips of colorful fabric and 1 white strip for the middle. Now, if you've watched me do other versions of this block before, you know I always use a base fabric. It gives my pieces more stability, and I know exactly the size of strips I need for each layer and where to sew. Today though, I'm just adding strips one by one. So the only reference I have is this 6-inch ruler to tell me if I'm on track or if I need to change anything. And the only rule for today is that white strip needs to be smack dab in the middle of our blocks. That's it. In fact, you can fold that strip in half and mark the middle line to know exactly where to place your ruler when it's time to trim this back into a block. And in case it isn't obvious by now, I am doing a string quilt, a rainbow string quilt. I've made a few before, but this one is completely different. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. If, like me, you're missing some tiny pieces on the corners of your strips, do not worry. As long as the gap is smaller than the 1/4 of an inch, you're okay. And this is our first 6-inch block all ready to go. Let's make 23 more blocks. I love this process. I want 7 rows of 4. That's all I need for the effect I have in mind. And that final size would make for like a table topper or a smallish table runner. You'll see. So we want 4 blocks in reds, greens, blues, yellows, oranges, purples, and pinks. I'm mixing my blues today, so no light versus dark blue. It's all mixed in together. And there's a reason why string quilts are often named as the best quilt pattern for using your leftover scraps of fabric, because you can use really small pieces in the corner, even those teeny tiny scraps you never know what to do with. At the same time, there's just something so special about using a leftover fabric. Something so many people just throw away, and turning it into something special and valuable like a cozy one-of-a-kind quilt. Now, we can do this 2 ways. We either go totally free flow, where you get your ruler and measure the scraps as you go before sewing, or you measure the size of the 9 pieces you will need for each block, cut them beforehand, organize them into groups, and then bulk sew, adding 1 strip at a time to all the blocks you're making. Now, the first way doesn't require any planning or thinking ahead, but you will end up having to trim a bit more, and bulk sewing can be tricky because of all that extra fabric. The second way requires more planning before you even begin, but after that, it's all smooth sailing. It's quicker, simpler, and you get the exact result you want because you planned ahead which strips you were going to be pairing together. And while we're doing this, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has joined my Patreon or my YouTube membership this year. Your support means so much to me, and I truly enjoy making special content just for you. I am very thankful for the awesome community we're all building together. Now, if I were to do this with bigger strips, like a jelly roll for example, we'd either get some really massive blocks or just a couple of strips on each side. Massive blocks, I'm all for them. I like it when a quilt grows really fast because the blocks are big while still showcasing a lot of pretty fabrics. The second option though, sounds a bit more boring to me if I'm honest. One of the best things about string quilts is the mix of the fabrics, and I'm not sure using half of the amount we're using here today would work out as well. Having said that, a great idea that I actually wish I had thought of when I was cutting my fabrics is to use different size strips, some smaller than 1.5 inches, some bigger. That would look so whimsical, and each block would truly be one of a kind. As long as the white remained the same width and placed smack dab in that middle, what goes on the sides doesn't really matter, except it would be even more unique and special. I'll definitely have to try that one. We need to press and trim in that order, okay? Doing it the other way around is guaranteed to get you some really wonky string blocks. so gorgeous. Now, before I show you that final puzzle I have in mind, I just have to play a little bit with these. Because string quilt blocks are very versatile, but most importantly, they will always look awesome regardless of the pattern you end up choosing. And this is the pattern I want, very traditional but stunning nonetheless. Sometimes the originals truly are the best choice, even though some of those variants were really jaw-dropping. As far as sewing goes, I always like to sew my pairs first, so if one side has uneven numbers, I tend to do the even number side first, even if they're not the longest side. And this is a 4x7 block quilt, so we do the 4 blocks in pairs, then join them into rows, and then finally we will be sewing the 7 rows together, so let's do that. You know, whenever I do rainbow washes, I always like to do spots of the same color. I don't remember ever doing a line wash like this one, but there's something to be said about this clean, crisp look that line washes have that I really like. A bit colder, yes, but in a very cool way. I am using my 1/4 inch presser foot with a guide, which makes this even easier because all I need to do is make sure my fabrics are leaning against the guide as I sew. You don't really have to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance though. For years and years I used a larger seam allowance, and while it can be a bit bulky if you use thicker fabrics, for regular patchwork cotton I don't see a problem. And it does help when you're first starting out having a bigger wiggle room for your seams. Only thing to keep in mind as far as seam allowances go is to always use the same allowance for all your blocks. Mixing seam allowances can make some very tricky math, and I do not advise it. And we are almost done here. Our pretty string rainbow is almost complete, and we are nesting some seams to make sure the white strips match as perfectly as we can make them. Let's press this beauty so I can show it to you already. And this is what we get, a stunning, one-of-a-kind string quilt top all ready to go. Very colorful and in all the colors of the rainbow. Ah, how cute is this? I had a blast, I hope you do too. Happy New Year, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye!